Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome to the penultimate event in Season 3 of my F1 23 My Team Career Mode journey. We could come away with the World Championship in this weekend. It's gonna be a tall order, but let's see if we can do it. First things first, it's qualifying, and you know what? I'm feeling confident. I feel like we've got some extra pace in the car. Thank you to one or two more upgrades that we have thrown on this car. We are going all out to try and get this championship. It is still very, very close, and it could go to anyone in the top four. The contenders coming into this weekend are myself, Russell, Gasly, and Verstappen. One of us four could win the title in the next two races, and it's all going to be decided. So we need to have the best momentum moving forwards. We threw on a couple of upgrades to the car. We do have new regulations coming in, however, for Season 4, which might mean that we are a little bit compromised, but it could shake things up. Anyway, we're going all out for this season. We'll worry about next season when it is next season. And what's the best way to start? By getting a good grid position. And we have done not too brilliant at that. It's P4, but the good news is it's a sprint weekend and we can just use the sprint to move forwards.
This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Felipe Drugovich lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Sparkles, Russell, Gasly, Sainz, Leclerc, Norris, Magnussen, Ocon, Bottas, Théo Pourchaire, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Joe, De Vries, Albon, Tsunoda, Sargent, Liam Lawson, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid.
Drugovich grabbing a home pole, but one of the most crucial sprint races of my career mode begins right now, and it's a good start for us, but Drugovich just does not get away. The two Red Bulls looking at leading into turn one. Perez leads. I'm alongside Verstappen, but we're going to get a tap from the rear from Verstappen. He shoves us wide and takes P2, and Gasly's on my right, but we cover Pierre Gasly. Gasly now to the left. Is he going to get through here? No, I'm going to ensure that he doesn't, but we've gone very wide there, and that is not going to help anything. But the two Red Bulls are 1 and 2 at the beginning of this sprint race, and Verstappen, well, he's one of the contenders, so he is naturally going to fight me as hard as he can. We're going to go to the outside and we're going to take P2 from Max Verstappen, and we're going to try and hunt down Sergio Perez for this sprint race. It is only lap 2. We've still got a long way to go yet. Anything can happen. But right now we're putting ourselves in a prime spot for a great grid position and a few cheeky points. But there's drama here. One of the title contenders is out, and it's George Russell. George Russell will start the crucial Brazilian Grand Prix from the back. Here's a replay of Verstappen in what looked like a very half-hearted attempt up my inside. And we're going to see here how Drugovich managed to get into P5 because Charles Leclerc went wide. Okay, that's that. Let's get back to the live action. It's lap 5. And here is Drugovich trying to get back past one of the Red Bulls. I think that's Max Verstappen. Verstappen's dropped behind Gasly now. So Max is struggling at this stage of the sprint. Drugovich is trying to get the move done, but Verstappen is not letting that go easy. Verstappen is still alongside, and Charles Leclerc is waiting in the wings to try and take advantage, but he's not managed to do it just yet. Right, Drugovich going for it once again on lap 6. And he's on the outside of Verstappen. Unfortunately, the TV camera is insistent on a rather unhelpful onboard, so we're not seeing it properly. But here's Drugovich trying Verstappen again, and Charles Leclerc just waiting in the wings. He's going to go down the inside and say, thank you very much. I'll just take the both of you. Cheers, guys. and Charles Leclerc moving up 2 places for the price of 1. Verstappen's going to try and have a look at him, but that's going to get closed off to him, and Drugovich also having to wait it out. Right, we're now on lap 8, and Pierre Gasly is chasing me down, and it is going to be the battle for second. Gasly has much better tyres. My tyres are starting to feel a bit finished. Gasly tries to go for the outside. We cover the inside, but Gasly's going for an up and under where there is no space. And there's a collision. The Titans collide. Gasly puts us round. And we are facing backwards here at the Brazilian Grand Prix. High drama in this sprint race as Gasly puts us round. And we're now going to see Felipe Drugovich going for second on Charles Leclerc. I will get back to that in a minute. Sorry, no, Drugovich going for third, on Verstappen, and still not quite able to get past the Red Bull. And I think Drugovich now having another go down the straight, and this time Drugovich is going to be a bit more forceful. But wow, that has really put us in a bad spot. Gasly, though, has had to pit for a front wing. Sergio Perez wins this sprint race. I'm not happy. I am not happy about that. Verstappen is the one contender that gained out in this race. But myself and Gasly came together. He went for a little up and under. The problem was the space just wasn't there. So, I don't know what happened there, but P9 in the sprint. What can we do with the feature? We did have to nurse the car to the end of the race. I'm surprised we didn't lose more places. Charles Leclerc is your driver of the day. I have no words. I have no words. But you're going to see the results pop up on your screen any moment now. And the result is that Perez won the sprint race, and it was quite comfortable as well for him.
So let's review the updated driver
Charles Leclerc getting on the podium, which I'm sure he will appreciate for the sprint, and Felipe Drugovich getting third. Verstappen only scored 4 points, and we're starting P9. How is this race going to unfold? Stick around, the feature race is up next.
Welcome along then to where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the very final corner. Just one. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Verstappen, Norris, Ocon, Bottas, Sparkles, Magnussen, Stroll, Albon, Joe, De Vries, Liam Lawson, Tsunoda, Sargent, Théo Pourchaire, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Drugovich, Oscar Piastri, and George Russell ends our grid lineup.
High drama in the sprint. What will unfold in this feature? It is going to be damp, it is going to be slippery, but we are underway here, and it's a relatively good start. Kevin Magnussen's trying to get past us though, but I'm more thinking of braking a bit later and getting Valtteri Bottas, and we're down the inside, we're making that work. Going to switch now to try and get past Esteban Ocon. We have got past Esteban Ocon, and we move ourselves up into P6. Lando Norris ahead, and the two Mercedes are starting from the back, so they've got a hell of a recovery job to do. This is going to be a tough race for them, but it is also going to be a tough race for us in P6. But right now, we're definitely in the pound seats to gain some good points on the Mercedes. And I tell you what, if they have a bad enough result, we might just clinch this title. First things first, let's get past Lando Norris, although that was a bit of a late braking turned into an overtaking move as we were trying not to hit Lando Norris. But we're up into the top 5, and what are we seeing here? Is that an Alpine? That's an Alpine having a drama, slowing down. I think it was Lance Stroll, and one of the Alfa Romeos just ploughed into him. So I think Nick De Vries went straight into Lance Stroll there. I'm amazed That was not a safety car. How was that not a safety car? I do not know, but we're at the end of lap 3 out of 36 here. Perez leads. Verstappen is in third. So right now, Verstappen, of all the title contenders, is the one that is ahead of everybody. And at the end of lap 5, we got a safety car. That's a bit delayed. Or has there been a separate incident? No, there's been a separate incident then. Here is Zhou Guanyu completing Alfa Romeo's day of misery by putting it round. And as Gasly goes to avoid it, Gasly just drives right into the reversing Zhou, who reverses right into Gasly, ruining his weekend further. Pierre Gasly is going to be spitting with rage. And meanwhile, we're taking the opportunity to pull into the pits to get a change of tyres. And we're going to take a gamble of going on slicks now, and I think the rest of the pack has had that idea. But Max Verstappen, I believe he didn't pit. I think Verstappen is still out there on intermediate tyres, right behind the safety car. So Verstappen has made a critical mistake in this critical race in the championship. And this is just gifting us the best opportunity to take the championship win. Zhou has essentially removed any threat from Gasly, but now what can we do? Verstappen removed his own threat by not pitting under the safety car, and we've got 28 more laps of this race. What will unfold here? I know for one thing, we've got the best car going forward now, so we're going to attack Sainz straight away. And we're going to go round the outside of Carlos. And we're going to move into second place. Great move there. Next, I'm setting my targets on Sergio Perez for the race lead. This Brazilian Grand Prix really falling into our laps here. And this has been a case of luck. Meanwhile, his Gasly trying to start his recovery on Zhou Guanyu. And I'm sure there'll be many an exchange gesture from Gasly just to let him know what he thinks. Meanwhile, Drogovic's day has started with misery. He was stuck behind us when he pitted, and now he's behind Logan Sargent, but not for long because he's now past Sargent and he's heading after Albon next. And I think that's Charles Leclerc in the melee there as well. Right, Perez, Wharton, Sainz, we are your top 3 right now, and I am not willing to wait around to try and get past this Red Bull. We're setting it up at the end of lap 9 to the beginning of lap 10. I really feel like this could be our race. And we're now going to do what we can to pass Perez. He goes to cover. We're going to the outside. We've got the fastest lap. We're going to brake later, sweep round the outside. And that is P1 on Perez. And I want to try and pull out as far as I can on Sainz, because out of everybody, he is the only driver that I am convinced will not be pitting again. So we've got to push to build the gap, and that is exactly what we're doing. After 2 laps, we built 2 seconds on the Red Bulls. Red Bulls were never going to be our biggest threat here. It was only going to be Mercedes, but right now they're battling through the pack. They are literally nowhere, and when it comes to lap 24, Russell has moved up, but he needed to pit. So the rest of the pack did pit again. Sainz also pitted, which I'm surprised by, but we used that opportunity to pit in for ourselves, and we're taking on hard tyres to get to the end of the race. Even though Sainz is on mediums, but I don't really see Sainz as an immediate threat. Meanwhile, here comes Pierre Gasly. This is his charge now as he gets past Théo Pourchaire, but it's only for 11th, so Pierre Gasly has not made the inroads he would hope to, and neither has George Russell. And you know what? I think unless there's a dramatic safety car and half the top 5 drop out, Mercedes are not doing enough to stay in the Drivers' Championship. Neither one of them are. Gasly was 7 points off of us coming into this, meaning if I get the win and the fastest lap, he would have to finish, I think, in the top 5 just to keep his hopes alive. So he's not doing that. We are doing everything we need to. Verstappen needed, realistically, I think, to finish ahead of us, but he's not. He's behind us. So, well, Lap 36, it's the final lap, and we haven't been touched by anybody in this race. It has literally just been us to ourselves. Perez was 2.5 seconds after we pitted, but we pitted a couple of laps later. But it's literally just the track to ourselves here. And it is lap 36, the final lap. We have done everything we needed to in this Brazilian Grand Prix. And as we get the corner a little bit wrong out of Yunsao, I think we've done enough to come across the line any second now to become the Formula One World Drivers' Champion here at Brazil. We take it with a win, and the title concludes in Brazil. We are the champions. We are the champions, my friends.
And with that, another year of Formula One draws to a close, and a new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. Not just victory today then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. What do you think it was today, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition?
Well, when you overtake that many people, I'd certainly hope you'd win the race. Their car was really effective in the slipstream here today, and the team will be pleased that they didn't cook the engine, given how long they were spending in the hot air behind other cars. They had a lot of confidence to push their tyres hard as well, especially going into the corners, which allowed for some late braking and some exciting passes.
It may be in slightly controversial circumstances after the incident in the sprint race, but I tell you what, Mercedes feature race just went to hell as Gasly lost his front wing to Zhou. But look at that. We win the feature race, we've got the fastest lap, and we've got the championship. Perez gets second in this race, and it's third and fourth for the Ferraris, fifth for Verstappen, Norris is sixth, Russell is seventh, and Pierre Gasly will be very dejected in eighth. But Gasly put up a great fight for the title. All of the contenders put up a great fight, but it can only be won by us, and with 29 points clear, we have done it. There is no going back now. But the key thing is, who is going to finish second in this fight? Is it going to be Gasly, Russell, or Verstappen? And Drugovich, well, he can't get second at this point, but he might be able to nip third or fourth, depending on how he goes at Vegas. And we are going to fully support that. Then it's Perez, Sainz, Leclerc, Norris, and Ocon, who are the rest of the top 10. But we are the Formula One World Champion of Season 3. Join me for the season finale in Las Vegas. Until then, thank you for watching. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care, guys.